It is exactly 9 p.m. on this 6th day of November 2023. Now, many thanks for making time for us this particular evening. Welcome to Lookuptv. This is the Spotlight. Now, a lot of things made headlines across the country today. But of course, top among them is the sad story where 11 people lost their lives along the Salga route that is in the Eldoret-Nakuru highway this particular morning. Like I said, 11 people lost their lives, and of course, several others injured in an accident that, of course, was between Matatu and, of course, a trailer along that particular route. As well, today, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations did start countrywide, with at least 6 people nabbed in, of course, connection to matters cheating or supplying materials that could aid, or rather would have aided in examination malpractice. Of course, in regards to, or still in relation to that particular, or those particular examinations, is that TSC has, of course, said that those teachers who will be invigilating the KCSE examinations must be from secondary schools and not primary schools, as it has been, or it has always been before. But apart from those 3 stories, the story that is most important, and I'm saying most important because it touches you directly, is that Energy CS Davis Chirchir, as today in his submission before the National Dialogue Committee, said that the price of fuel could go as high as 300 shillings per litre. And of course, this is in regards to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. The CS says that the price of fuel has gone from $70 to $90 per barrel. That, of course, signifying an increase of about 3,000 Kenya shillings. All those stories in our bulletin tonight. First of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines.
Tonight on the Spotlight.
Kila mara lazima tukuje tupate watu wamefariki hapa. Inatutraumatize sana. Sio picha mzuri hata kwa watoto wetu kuona mili kwa barabara kila asubuhi.
Salga Sachangwana black spot on the Spotlight again after 11 people died and others injured in a road accident Monday morning. KCSE examinations begin across the country, with over 900,000 candidates sitting for this year's examinations amid floods in different parts of the country. Also tonight, brace for tough times ahead. Energy CS Davis Chirchir warns, indicating that the price of fuel per litre could go up to the 300 shillings mark. And putting up a fight, Kirima land residents in Jiru moved to court to challenge their eviction order.
Well, many thanks for staying with us and welcome back. My name is Ian Kitani and our sign language interpreter is Josephine Oko. Now let's get straight into the bulletin. And 11 people have died while 3 others are nursing serious injuries at the Nakuru Referral Hospital following a grisly road accident at Sobea area along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway. Now police are probing the cause of the accident that involved a 14-seater matatu and a truck at that particular highway.
It is a road carnage that has taken the lives of 11 people. An oncoming truck ramming into 2 vehicles at Sobea area, Salga along Nakuru-Eldoret Road. Speaking at the scene of the accident, Nakuru County Police Commander Samuel Ndanyi indicated that 8 people lost their lives on the spot, while others died while they were being rushed to the hospital. In addition, he has advised drivers to be careful on the road while the investigation continues in relation to the accident.
So far tumeweza kudhibitisha watu 8 wakiwa wameaga dunia na wengine majeruhi karibu 5 kukiwemo watoto. Driver wa lori wakati ajali ilifanyika aliweza kutoweka, mpaka saa hizi hatujampata, lakini alitoweka baada tu ya ajali.
According to those who witnessed, the accident occurred after the trailer lost control and crashed face to face with a PSV matatu.
Na tukinapoangalia hiyo accident imefanyika ukitoka Nakuru town, imefanyika kwa mkono ya right. Na ukiangalia hiyo truck, hiyo lori ilikuwa naenda upande wa Eldoret. So kuna uwezekano hiyo lori ili lose control ama something else ilifanyika, ndio driver akaweza kuja upande wa right na tukakuwa na head on collision. Ndio maana tukaona hii accident imefanyika hivi.
Catherine Saina, Lookuptv.
Of course, awareness has to be raised as we head into the festive period. We urge motorists to be very keen on the roads amid the, of course, weather conditions, it being a rainy season across the country. And of course, our condolences to those families who lost their loved ones in that particular accident. Now, moving forward into matters education, and the KCSE exams kicked off today with students sitting for chemistry and English paper 1. Now, the government has deployed over 6 troopers to distribute Kenya secondary school examinations materials in northeastern Tana River and Turkana counties, which have been the worst hit by floods. Now, Education Principal Secretary, that is Dr. Belio Kipsang, says that they have mapped out all the flood-prone areas to ensure smooth delivery of examination materials to all examination centres. Over 900,000 students are sitting for the exams this year.
As 903,260 KCC students begin the exam that will mark the end of their high school education across the country, 8,910 candidates from Turkana County sat for the examinations amid the ongoing heavy rains witnessed in the area. According to the Education Director Henry Lubanga, it's through the government efforts that he has seen the exercise run smoothly, saying that the exercise had kicked off well in that county.
Turkana County incidentally has the highest number of containers. We have a container serving one school, one center, and that makes it easier even for these new changes of having exams done in 2 sessions, because we have few schools being served by a container, and we expect them to get the examination for the second session in good time and also release the examination in good time.
The Assistant County Commissioner in Kirinyaga County witnessed the opening of the examinations, a process according to him ran smoothly as 13,089 candidates sat for the examinations in that county.
We witnessed the opening of the container. The center managers are very organized, the security is very organized, and my boss, the county commissioner who is in Kishugu, is ensuring the exams goes around very well. He has instructed us, the Deputy County Commissioner, to be very keen on that. That's why he's touring everywhere.
And in West Pokot County, KCC container opening and material picking exercise started well early morning without any hitches. The exercise was overseen by the Deputy County Commissioner Wycliffe Munanda, as all examination managers picked the examinations materials without any major challenge. The county has a total of 15,478 candidates.
Tungetaka kusema kwamba kwa sasa tuna changamoto kubwa sana ya mvua, kwa sababu mvua ni nyingi sana na sehemu zetu nyingi haziwezi kufikika, lakini tunaamini kwamba maofisa wetu watafanya bidii na jitihada kuhakikisha kwamba mitihani imefika mahali ambapo inatakiwa kufikia. Wanafunzi wetu wametayarishwa vya kutosha, na ninatumai mwaka huu matokeo ya mitihani yataimarika.
The KCC students will sit for their last test on the 24th of November. They will then tackle English paper 2 and mathematics paper 1 examinations tomorrow. Mavin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Well, again, all the best to those sitting for their national examinations. But staying with matters education is that the Teachers Service Commission Chief Executive Officer, that is Nancy Macharia, now says only secondary school teachers will invigilate the Kenya national examinations, which officially started today. Now, speaking after overseeing the distribution of exam materials in Mombasa County, Macharia assured students of their safety throughout the examination period.
Early Monday morning, and the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination kicked off countrywide, with the Teachers Service Commission CEO Nancy Macharia overseeing the distribution of the examination materials in Mombasa County, as opposed to how it has been before. The CEO noted that only secondary school teachers will be allowed to invigilate the national examinations and not primary school teachers.
The directive that the TSC has given, and this is in compliance with what is in the regulation for NEC, is that only secondary school teachers will be expected to invigilate KCSE exams and not primary. The primary school ones, they invigilated KIPSEA and KCP. So for these ones, we need only secondary school teachers to be the invigilators, to be the center managers, to be the supervisors, and finally the examiners. I said there are 101, 376 teachers.
Macharia also took the opportunity to assure candidates and parents that the invigilators selected to oversee the examinations were properly vetted, therefore promising a seamless process.
No, we don't have any hiccups. Bwana DCC is here. You heard him talk. Not so far. We have nothing, and we are hoping that this exercise will proceed as we have said. The teachers, we have vetted them. They are ready. The children are in schools, as you will go around and see, and therefore we expect that everything will be smooth running going forward.
With heavy rains being witnessed across the country, the CEO promised the candidates of their safety, indicating that enough security officers have been deployed countrywide to ensure the safety of the students.
Government is prepared, as we have said every year. We work as a multi-agency team, so even in those areas that are not very, because of the rains and so on, the government is ready. We have copters ready to airlift these exams and so on. And I don't think there are so many in the country, but where we have such hiccups, we're ready. We're ready. The government is ready.
And with a change in the country's education system, Macharia admitted the shortage of teachers being experienced despite the government hiring more teachers, while alluding the shortage of resources as the main problem.
We are a developing country and resources are limited, but we have seen this government has really tried. For this year alone, we have recruited 56,000 teachers. And this is to make sure that the transition for junior secondary is on course and everything. It is true that we have advertised in some places. Maybe that's what the president was referring to. But we have not yet filled those vacancies. And we are still talking with our county directors so that the local communities can send these people, or any interested Kenyan can go and take up those positions.
Now on to, of course, one of our top stories tonight, and fuel prices are expected to rise after Energy Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir appeared before the National Dialogue Committee today. Now, Chirchir said that Kenyans should brace themselves for more pain at the pump as the Israel-Hamas war could push prices to 300 shillings per litre. Speaking before the NADCO committee, the CS stated that the ongoing conflict in Israel will hit global crude prices, which will see the pump prices rise even further. Stanley Ligaria with the details.
As Kenyans adjust to an already tight belt as far as the cost of living is concerned, times are about to get even tougher.
The Hamas-Israeli war continues. In the coming months, we are likely to see an accelerated increase in the prices of petroleum product, and that could go as high as $150 per barrel.
While appearing before the National Dialogue Committee to weigh in on the cost of living conversation, Energy and Petroleum CS Davis Chirchir says Kenyans should prepare for tougher economic times ahead, saying the price of fuel product is expected to rise to up to 300 shillings per litre of petrol, following the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas.
That's talk to the pricing is likely to go to $150 per barrel in the coming months. And that, when you bring to the litre in the market, is likely to really continue accelerating the price to the litre at the pump. And it could go as high, as high as $300.
Chirchir was appearing together with the Treasury CS Professor Njuguna Ndungu and PS from the State Housing Department PS Hinga, who made recommendations on the housing levy and the cost of living. Professor Njuguna Ndungu described to the committee that the difficult economic times witnessed are due to the importation of food and fuel products, as well as the wrong policies taken in the past, such as subsidizing the importation of ready-made food and not production.
Times of crisis like now, we are looking for anywhere to slash. But most of the ministries and departments come and try to defend their budget very hard. We don't want to have that kind of connotation that we have institutionalized corruption. And this is not even corruption. We are calling it budgeted corruption, but this is actually theft of public resources, if at all it was taking place.
PS Hinga suggested that the high cost of living is due to the Kenyan shilling falling in value against the US dollar, even without borrowing, stressing that there is a need to review the national tax to come down, which has led to the high cost of living charged to Kenyans through the excessive taxes.
So our currency is devaluing, we have high inflation, we have rising interest rates, we have uncertainty that is there in the market. Chair, we have seen in our own context here, we have got a huge unemployment issue. We have a huge youth bulge. We have our economy is around contracting, manufacturing. We have had prolonged drought. We have had serious impact from COVID.
Some of the experts who appeared before NADCO, including Bill Okello and Dr. Rugu Abraham, have faulted the government for wrongly prioritizing projects, giving examples such as affordable housing while schools need funds to achieve their new curriculum, with Dr. Rugu holding that the country has problem considering that the country's revenue collection has been on growth curve every year, considering the increased number of parastatals leading to the countries to greater financial risk due to the increase in duplicated departments performing similar responsibilities, in return increasing the country's expenditure.
Actually, taxes which are critical, and the most common ones are the levies. These levies are called levies, but they're in forms of taxes, and they're not being used for the purposes for which they were originally intended. This is why I said some of those levies need to be reviewed and need to be removed. We lose 2 billion every day. If you do the math, if you were to cursory look at that figure, 2 billion per day gives you about 710 billion in a year. That gives you almost the deficit that we are talking about. I think a lot of these state-owned enterprises need to run on a business model. You don't make a profit, you don't run, you shut down.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
Now, just to get into the finer details, is that if at all, they're saying if at all, Arab producers, such oil Arab producers such as Saudi Arabia cut its exports, then the global oil supply could fall by 6 million. And of course, that will get the barrels supply per day to 8 million. That means that it will send the prices of fuel per barrel to at least a region of $140 to $157 per barrel. Now, furthermore, is that Kenya at the moment, according to the CS, we do pay 200 shillings or $200 US per barrel for petroleum, while other countries are paying at least 300 USD per liter. That is. Now, Kenya imports petroleum products worth $500 US. That is 4 cargos for diesel, and of course 4 cargo for petroleum and 1 cargo for kerosene. That means that the situation could get even tough in the next few months. But the question is, what can the government do to cushion Kenyans from further suffering? Now, the CS says that there's nothing the government can do to lower the prices of fuel prices. Good way to say, tighten your belts. Now, on that note, we take a short breather and we'll be back with more stories on this particular bulletin, so don't go away.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner. Looking for an office space? 4th Avenue Towers is a professionally designed 25-story executive office that is conveniently located at the heart of the medical and legal services square within community area. The office is easily accessible from both Valley Road and Ngong Road. Professionals and business people now have the opportunity to own a premium piece of office space, the optimum choice for the modern professional. Key utilities include 24-hour security with CCTV surveillance, high-speed internet access, ample and secure parking, high-speed elevators, power backup generator, open rooftop and a restaurant. 4th Avenue, an amazing product of Fusion Capital. Fusion Capital, rooted in the African growth story.
Yes, kuja pande hii. Aya, kata huku kidogo huku, leta. Ikuje kata pande hii. Peleka huku.
Kwani mwisho jackpot?
Ni jasa na tatua.
Ati
Jasa na tatua.
Hebu ngoja nikuje.
Kuja. Sasa ni kung'ang'a mnapeleka kwa ile nyumba. Huko.
Jaza mfuko na chapa kila nusu saa. Cheza tatua 3 na 10 bob 2 na ushinde jaza bonus ya 10,000 Kenya shillings kila siku. Istoshe, ukicheza na 70 bob au zaidi, utakamua guaranteed bonus ya shilingi 5,000 dakika 30 zijazo. Si hayo tu, jaza keja na home makeover. Jaza parking yako na a brand new tuk-tuk au pikipiki. Hapa ni kujaza na tatua. Nenda kwa M-Pesa, chagua paybill number 150 chagua namba zako 3 za bahati kati ya 0 na 9 ukifuatanisha na neno Lookuptv. Cheza na kati ya shilingi 10 hadi shilingi 1,000 na ujaze mfuko na chapa kila nusu saa.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Now let's get going, and we of course move to matters land sagas. And over 1,000 persons living in the disputed Njiru land have filed a case challenging the decision to be evicted. Now they want the case to be certified as urgent, and the decision delivered in October be temporarily stayed pending hearing and determination of the case. The residents claim that they have been residing on the disputed land for over 40 years, between 40 years and 50 years, and they say judgment will affect them. Now they say that they will suffer irreparable harm if the court does not issue an order staying the execution of the judgment, beg your pardon. Now the court had ruled that they enter into an agreement with the Kirima family or vacate the land by the 31st of December.
The ongoing land ownership controversy concerning more than 1,000 acres of land in Njiru has intensified as an additional 500 claimants have come forward alleging irregularity in the acquisition of the property. In a fresh suit filed by the chairman of the Runway View Residents Association, Mihango Jojo Uma Olola, on behalf of over 500 members, they are seeking the intervention of the courts to suspend the December 31st, 2023 demolition order by a High Court Judge Samson Okongo.
So as the residents who have invested massively in the area, we were left confused. As of now, we don't know even if the government comes up to resolve the matter on our behalf, with whoever is the rightful owner. We are still very cautious because we may pay any of the claimant as the rightful owner, later on to be told that that was not the owner.
Not only are there residents who will be affected, but also we have to look at the social and economic effect, the demolition that is to be effected.
Through lawyer Dan Stanomari, the residents also said they want the DCI to investigate the documents submitted by the family of the alleged original owner of the land, which is the late Domenico De Masi, an Italian. They want the directorate to ascertain which documents are real, expressing hope that the investigations will find the demarcated documents to be real.
Before the judge on the 20th of this month, which is earlier than the date of eviction. The questions the owners of the property are asking, who do they deal with as the rightful owner of the land? Is it Dominic? That is why we have presented this document to government agencies to certify if the documents that we have presented are genuine and which we are sure are genuine, then the orders granted be vacated. Very fundamental conveyancing questions. Where is the stamp duty paid by Kirima? Where is the sale agreement?
The land is so vast. You imagine over 1,000 acres of land, beginning from Bakasi barracks up to neighboring Kariobangi. So there are people who are suffering silently.
On 23rd October 2023, Justice Okongo awarded the disputed land to the estate of the late billionaire Gershon Kirima. The judge ordered all illegal occupants of the land to vacate the property, failing which the beneficiaries of the Kirima estate would forcibly evict them. This comes days after the Kirima family declared that they are open to negotiations with the residents.
First and foremost is identify and establish what is on the ground. Who is actually living there? How many families are actually affected? Where are they staying? Once that is done, then we'll have a blueprint as to who we are actually working with.
Brian Amwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now, just talking about matters land is that the government, and of course, Interior Sis Kithure Kindiki via his Twitter account says, following the decision by the cabinet, sitting in Mombasa on Friday, November 3rd, 2023, the government has declared a special holiday on Monday, November 13th, 2023, during which the public across the country shall be expected to plant trees as a patriotic contribution to the national efforts to save our country from the devastating effects of climate change. There we go, Monday the 13th, beg your pardon, of 2023, that is this coming Monday. The country, of course, the government has gazetted that particular day as a national holiday, and the statement reads, or rather the Gazette in itself reads, in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 3 of the Public Holidays Act, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration declares Monday, 13th of November 2023 as a public holiday in which the public shall be engaged in tree growing across the country. Of course, the exercises are part of Kenya's landscape and ecosystem restoration program towards the growing of 15 billion trees. There will be a designated national venue for the tree planting. And of course, the planting will be presided over by President Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And of course, the cabinet secretaries, governors, and all leaders across the country. That is, of course, news reaching our desk at this particular moment. 13th of November 2023 will be a national holiday. That particular news has been received by Kenyans, mixed, as listed, mixed reactions from Kenyans. Many among them happy that finally they'll have a day to rest, but it is not a resting day per se, because Kithure Kindiki does say it will be a day where Kenyans will be expected to plant trees in accordance, of course, in a bid to get to the 15 billion markers, of course, announced by President William Ruto earlier on when he took over the reins of power here in the country. Let's move on to matters, of course, livestock theft. And Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has today announced the establishment of the additional security camps for the Anti-Stock Theft Unit and the General Service Unit, Special Forces in Gembe North. Now, the decision, according to the Interior CS, comes in response to the escalating problem of livestock theft by armed criminals in the region.
Is also another flood-prone area after the heavy downpour in the region caused flash floods, which swept away cars in Wamba area after Marugwe River burst its banks. Video shows the cars submerged in flooded roads at Golgoteme village in Wamba town. No casualties were reported. Months after the weather forecast experts warned against the looming post-effects of El Nino rains nationwide, several parts of Tana North, including Hola Town, were submerged while the residents displaced from their homes. Speaking of the launching a footbridge across the River Tana joining three villages of Golbante, Kipao and Burakirashi, Gorshen MP Haliwari.
The ongoing land ownership controversy concerning more than 1,000 acres of land in Jiru has intensified as an additional 500 claimants have come forward alleging irregularity in the acquisition of the property. In a fresh suit filed by the chairman of the runway, Vice Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has said that there are 140 additional National Police reservists to be deployed in Meru North to supplement police efforts to tackle livestock rustling, which has been a menace in the region.
With the infusion of an additional 140 NPRs, we are going again to see a shot in the arm to our agencies here. We will increase that number. We'll train more NPRs in the years ahead. And we will also continue giving our officers facilitation in terms of vehicles, fuel, and other personal protection equipment so that when they track animals that are stolen, their lives are not exposed to danger. Nawashukuru sana, Mungu wabariki, mubaki salama. Thank you very much.
Kindiki said the government is on course to eradicate banditry in Kenya, calling on the public to support the efforts of the government.
This administration is committed to eradicating banditry in Kenya and livestock rustling. These criminals have occasionally succeeded, unfortunately leading to loss of lives, sometimes even injuring our officers. But I think there are no two ways about it. Kenya must succeed in eradicating banditry. And this administration is the administration that will do that job. I therefore want to appeal to the members of the public to support our police officers to make sure that we are on one side and we isolate the bandits and cattle rustlers on one side.
The CS once again warned politicians to keep off the war against banditry, adding that they will be dealt with.
We have instructed our security agencies to make sure that the war against cattle rustlers is not in any way politicized. And any political leader who uses politics to complicate the war against banditry, legal action will be taken against them, irrespective of their political persuasion, whether or not they are leaning towards the government political party or the opposition. We'll take action against them and will be very ruthless.
Kindiki announced the establishment of additional security camps for the Anti-Stock Theft Unit and the General Service Unit Special Forces in Igembe North. The decision, according to the Interior CS, comes in response to the escalating problem of livestock theft by armed criminals in the region.
To go out of our way, not only to secure communities from attacks, but also to take preemptive measures and neutralize the threat of bandits from source. Therefore, increasingly, we will not rely or we will not wait for bandits to attack for us to launch an operation. We are going to take preemptive operational measures to preempt attacks by criminals.
Kindiki was speaking after holding a security strategy meeting with members of the Eastern Regional Security and Intelligence Committee and other security formations. Brian Amuai, Lookuptv.
Livestock theft and Interior Cabinet Secretary as today.
Hivi ndio msiko inasikianga ikifanyiwa shopping, ikipepwa na kusukumwa namna hii. Oh my goodness. Loto inapeana 100,000 shopping voucher. In case ulikuwa na doubt. Wacha nikuoneshe washindi hapa. Ulikuwa unaamini kweli unaweza pata mambo fresh kabisa. Tuko hapa Eldoret na bila shaka washindi wa 100,000 shopping voucher tunakuja kuwapatia wafanya shopping yao. Tujue nini wamefanya shopping. Kuja tuone wao washindi wako namna gani. Hey. Sasa hapa unaanzia wapi? Umejisikiaje kuingia kwa hii supermarket ukifanya shopping ya 100?
Ni supermarket kubwa. Si unaona niko na vitu yote hapa.
Wewe hapa umefanya shopping ya nini yako hiyo?
Hii nimefanya dispenser, vyakula, nichukulia watu nyumbani wakule.
Umechasa vyakula sasa.
Chasa sasa.
Hiyo ndio stronghold yako.
Hiyo sasa tumbo lazima ijae.
Ushaingia supermarket ukafanya shopping ya shilingi 1,100?
Kwa hakika hii ni mara yangu ya kwanza.
Na unajisikia namna gani?
Raha tele.
Raha kabisa. Ungependa kuambia nini wale ni watazamaji ambao wanakuona kuhusu Loto?
Ningependa niambie wengine wenzangu ambao wanaendelea kucheza Loto. Hii ni maneno ya ukweli. Cheza Loto. Cheza Loto kabisa. Utashinda siku moja.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
Welcome to Zahara Gardens, located in the serene Rosegate Nashu area of Dagoretti Mutarakwa Road at Shell Lusingiti. Zahara Gardens is a haven of tranquility, margin affordability and wholesome family living. What's more, it is conveniently located just 300 meters off the proposed Rosegate Nashu Suswa Link Road, currently being tarmacked. You simply cannot afford to miss this deal of a lifetime. To book a plot, call 0723 979797 or visit us on 4th Avenue Towers along 4th Ngong Avenue off Bishop Road. Zahara Gardens is a product of Fusion Estates. Fusion Estates, your land ownership partner.
Introducing the Kenya Trade Fair Fusion Sales Drive event in the heart of Nairobi at the Kenya National Archives. It's not just an event, it's sales generation with a remarkable return on investment. Get ready to let your booth do the talking as you study new market trends with lots of entertainment featuring traditional live bands, DJs and artists. For vendor registration, call 0724 715 334 or 0713 907 584 or 0723 861 173.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Apologies for the mishap that occurred earlier on, and we now move to matters of floods. And according to the Kenya Meteorological Department, Kenya will continue to witness heavy rainfall for the next few days. Now, Samburu County, one of the counties at risk, has witnessed heavy rains that caused flash floods which swept away cars in Wamba area after the Magwe River burst its banks. Now, this and more on our Floods Watch tonight.
Samburu County is also another flood-prone area after the heavy downpour in the region caused flash floods which swept away cars in Wamba area after Marugwe River burst its banks. Video shows the cars submerged in flooded roads at Golgoteme village in Wamba town. No casualties were reported. Months after the weather forecast experts warned against the looming post-effects of El Nino rains nationwide, several parts of Tana North, including Hola Town, were submerged while the residents displaced from their homes. Speaking of the launching a footbridge across the River Tana joining three villages of Golbante, Kipao and Burakirashi, Gorshen MP Hali Wario and Galole counterpart Sahid Abibai warned that failure to adhere to the weather forecast advice will lead to major losses in the area. Mr. Wario, however, said that already 500 heads of goat had been swept away at Kipao village following heavy floods on Saturday night.
Na maji mengi sana ambayo kwa meteremka flash floods kutoka juu, na saa hii tunavyosema town ya Hola iko flooded. Watu wamesombwa na maji kwa sababu ya mto wa Galole. Na haya ni mambo ambayo kwa tushazungumza na serikali, tutaona namna ambayo kwa tunaweza kusaidia, kwa sababu maji yakija yanaharibu barabara, yameharibu mji wa Hola, na ni kitu ambacho kwa kama viongozi msione kama tumenyamaza. Tutahakikisha tuzungumze na serikali ili kwa wakati huu ambao kwa ni mgumu tumeitisha relief food kwa wale ambao kwa wamehitajika, kwa sababu wameondoka katika makazi yao wameenda sehemu nyingine.
Kwa sababu watabiri washatuambia. Na mambo ingine saa hii muangalie sana mambo weather forecast, kwa sababu hiyo ndio inatuguide sisi.
At the same time, the national government has assured the national examinations candidates and Kenyans in general that it has placed strong strategies to face the floods caused by their effects occasionated by El Nino rains. Professor Charles Ongondo, KICD Director General, has pointed out that if land transport will be paralyzed by insecurity inaccuracies and El Nino rains floods, then they will not hesitate to use air transport.
The Kenya National Examinations Council was warned in good time about areas that are likely to experience enhanced rains and floods, and we are ready with all sorts of arrangements to make sure we counter that. We have helicopters which will reach places that are flooded. We have arrangements to move children if schools get flooded in various areas. And this is already being done in some areas like Mandera and Baringo and Samburu. And so
Regan Lemeguran, Lookuptv.
That's what you are receiving.
Let's move to matters diplomatic relations. On the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, that is Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, has reassured members of the diplomatic community in the country that the country is committed to intensifying its efforts to bolster economic diplomacy with the aim of expanding economic opportunities for its citizens. Now, speaking during his inaugural formal meeting with the heads of missions in Nairobi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary underscored Kenya's steadfast dedication to global peace and security.
Excellencies, Kenya aspires to strengthen its economic diplomacy in order to increase economic opportunities for our people. We are delighted to be a pilot nation for the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, the world's largest free trade zone with a population of 1.2 billion people and a GDP of $3 trillion. I would like to reiterate that under the able leadership of His Excellency the President, William Ruto, the ministry remains well guided on the promotion, projection, and protection of Kenya's strategic interests in collaboration with our friends and partners. In this respect, and in order to enhance and improve strategic coordination, the government has reviewed the decision that previously allowed diplomatic and consular missions, UN agencies, and international organizations to directly contact government ministries, departments, and agencies. Going forth, all correspondences with the government shall be transmitted through the Office of the Chief of Protocol, State Department of Foreign Affairs. We believe that this.
Now on to matters of health, and Siaya Governor James Orengo has commended the work of the community health promoters, linking it with the improved health indicators in the country. Now, the governor says that the county has managed to register a reduction of disease burden in Siaya from 33% to 19%. Orengo, who spoke at his rural home in Ugenya constituency during an exercise that was organized to brand and equip the community health promoters, also stated that through care and visitation, they have also enabled a reduction of mother-to-child transmission of the HIV disease.
We want to build a modern complex in Bondo. Bondo and Siaya being the two main centers. We want in each sub-county to have a level 4 hospital. Rarieda, Bondo, Game, Alego, Ugunja, Ugenya. All of them, without any one of them missing. I want to appreciate the work of the community health promoters. Because of their work, we have made some achievements. For example, in the area of reduction of the disease burden in Siaya, the community health promoters has enabled us reduce the disease burden from 33% to 19%. Because of you, because malaria is not so to deal with, it's a killer. We have what is called regular household registration and visitation. Nobody does it. It is Nyamrerwa who make this visitation. Whether somebody is sick or is not sick, Nyamrerwa still comes to your home to find out how you are doing.
Now, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, that is KUPPET, has called on the government to bridge the gap between, in payment between classroom teacher and top cadre of the teaching fraternity. Now, speaking during the annual general meeting by KUPPET Embu branch, National Deputy Secretary General Moses Nthurima urged the government to implement a 30% and 70% increase to bridge the gap across the job groups. Abi Kadenyi with more on our news wrap.
As times get tough economically, the Teachers Association KUPPET has called on the government to increase the teachers' pay in order to bridge the gap between classroom teachers' cadre. Teachers have, however, been called upon to uphold ethics while discharging their duties by protecting the interests of the children as enshrined in the Constitution.
I want to thank His Excellency the President, William Samoei RUTO. Since he came to power, just barely a year plus, he has been able to give TSC money to recruit over 50,000 teachers. That has assisted significantly in reducing the teacher shortage in this country. Over and above that, his government allocated 1 billion. That's why in March we conducted interviews, and by June we were able to promote 14,000 teachers.
West Pokot County has prohibited the sale of livestock due to an outbreak of veterinary foot and mouth disease. Speaking during the vaccination of the cattle that were affected by the disease, the Minister of Agriculture and Livestock, Wilfred Longronyang, has called on to farmers to send their livestock to be vaccinated to prevent the spread of the disease.
Mpango yetu aswa ni yenye tunasema tutafanya ring vaccination, kwa sababu tayari tumesimamisha masoko kutembea kwa ng'ombe. Itakuwa rahisi huu ugonjwa kuisha.
And finally, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has reconciled Kisii Governor Simba Arati and Senator Richard Onyonka, saying the move portended well for the region's development. The speaker termed the burying of the duo's political hatchet as his significant contribution to the residents of the county. Wetangula witnessed the two shake hands publicly and stressed there was urgent need for the elected leadership to keep peace.
Bwana Arati and your whole county, vile umesema, tuunge serikali ya William Ruto mkono, tufanye kazi pamoja. Mnakubali hao wangwana wafanye kazi pamoja? Thank you, that is my little contribution to Kisii. Yes.
Abi Kadenyi, Lookuptv.
Now let's get sporty, and Hope Soka Academy from Nakuru is pleading for financial assistance from the Football Kenya Federation and other stakeholders to support their dream of participating in the East African Chipukizi Cup tournament that will be held in Arusha, Tanzania. Now the team is having an intense training ahead of the tournament that will be held from the 13th to 19th of December 2023.
Tungetoa mwito kama kuna wadhamini pale ili waweze kuingilia, watu saidie kupeleka vijana wetu waweze kucheza dimba katika hadhi ya kimataifa, na huenda pengine watapata nafasi ya kuwa scouted. Kuna scouts ambao watatoka mataifa kutoka Europe, watafika pale na huenda pengine talanta zao zitaweza kuonekana. Makadirio yetu kupeleka vijana 25 pamoja na coaches 3. Tumekadiria bajeti yetu ni milioni 1,700,000. Under 13 ndio tunawaandaa, na tunashukuru kwa sababu tumepata nafasi nzuri ya kuwa katika maandalizi, na tuna mwezi huu ili kuwaandaa, kwa maana wanafaa kusafiri kuanzia tarehe 13 hadi tarehe 19 Disemba. Watakuwa pale Arusha. Tumefanya usajili tayari.
Tukienda pale sio Naivasha, sio New Hope, tunawakilisha Kenya. So tena kutoa mtoto hapa hivi junior team yote kupeleka mpaka Tanzania, it's very expensive. So tulikuwa tuna willing kama naweza pata funding yote from friends of football, community, yani anywhere unaweza tukapata labda any financial support tuwapeleke kule, itakuwa ni vizuri.
Tuko hapa juu. Bend kidogo nyuma, backward. Just a little bit backward.
Now on to the big man's game, and James Murray recorded an impressive score of 76 gross to emerge the overall winner of the 9th edition of the NCBA MAG Golf event that was held at the Naivasha Sports Club in Nakuru County. Tabitha Kiragu emerged the champion in the ladies category after carding 36 points, beating her close opponent Grace Gadhinge, who registered 27 points. Now, over 70 golfers participated in the event that intends to converge players from different clubs to compete in the grand finale to be held in December.
The weather has been very, very good, and really anybody who didn't play well cannot blame the weather. The grounds are very well manicured. It wasn't very hot, it wasn't too windy, it wasn't raining. So I think we had a good day, and I think those blessings must have then stayed on the ground, and those of us who were able to convert the blessings into good golf, good turnout. I think it's been very well sponsored, very good gifts, very good sponsorship package, and we really want to appreciate NCBA for this very good gesture.
We also extended with a golf series, we call it a MAG, where also the attendance has been impressive. We've had 70 golfers teeing off today, and it was just also an appreciation to the business community and the stakeholders who have supported us.
Now, just to inform you of the updates in the sports docket is that Shabana FC have parted ways with their head coach, Mr. Samuel Koth, and of course they have appointed one Oscar Kambona as the new head coach, as they, of course, interim head coach, as they try and find a replacement for Mr. Okoth. Remember, Shabana just have one win from 10 games this season, losing 5 and drawing 4 games. Talking of teams that draw games and, of course, losing as well, is that Chelsea will be hosted by Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tonight at 11 p.m. Just so you know, just going through social media, is that Arsenal fans are still crying, ranting all over the place because of the result in their game that saw them drop points and, of course, lose 1-0 to Newcastle United. All we can say and do is that cry some more, Arsenal fans. Now, that particular story wraps up our news bulletin at this particular evening. Many thanks for making time to be with us. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a lovely evening. And by the way, to the team behind the scenes, led by, of course, Simon, James, that is Jeremy, National Digital Desk, Edwin, my producer, Brian Amoy, and our sign language interpreter, Josephine Uko. Many thanks for making this happen. And, of course, I've been Ian Kitani. Until tomorrow, you have a lovely evening or lovely night. And like always, God bless.